Hi, beautiful souls. It's quite still this morning. I had a very exciting dream last night. There was this lady who looked somewhat like Jane Fonda walking a leopard in a field. There were people with dogs. There was two setters chasing this leopard, and one of the dogs was getting quite close, and the leopard was looking like it was going to react. Anyway, I got up close and I took the dog by the collar and I gave it back to the lady that was very upset. And she was blaming the woman with the leopard. How can you walk this thing? This is just not on. I found myself in front of this very tall, big building and these beautiful grounds. As I entered the grounds, there was preparations for Christmas. And I walked down this passage and found myself two interesting chairs. One was very narrow to fit in a very narrow gap, and one was very high. I walked through this narrow gap and found a door which adjoined to another building, and this is the bit that was the most exciting to me. The bolt that was between the two buildings was made of selenite. It was a selenite bolt with a selenite fastening to put that bolt through. And I stood there looking at it in my dream time. I was like, oh, this is so beautiful. And this makes perfect sense. This makes perfect sense. So pure, so loving. So pure and so loving. So I walked through this narrow bit of room where the chairs were. And then I went back through into this room where there was preparations for Christmas. And I looked around and there were crowns, and the crowns were golden. And the crowns represented the Christ, the coming of the Christ. And I looked around and everything was to do with the preparations for the coming of the Christ. And the dog, or the dogs and the leopard, they represented the polarity where there is still some interest within peoples on this planet. And what I want to share is that sometimes within certain groups, I know of this, not that I see it, I'm not in any groups, but there is some interest in people believing that somebody is going to come here and save us, whether they are galactic beings, the angels, whatever it might be, yeah. But anyone that has ability to save anyone, it is you. You have to participate. You have to be in participation to, and let's say the word savior is a very old paradigm word. So we don't use the word save. I mean, I'm using it now to talk about something so that it's hopefully clear. But save is, we don't save anything, because to save something means that something is a victim, that it is in need. But we are all sovereign beings. And when we see and feel the truth of that, we don't need to be saved, because we stand up and we make our lives count. So this coming of the Christ is, well, we're on the tipping point. The golden crowns representing people standing into their Christed I am presence, their crystalline presence, their high dimensional beingness, stepping into higher frequencies, realizing the truth of who they really are. It's up to each one of us to do that. Sure, we can have assistance and help in certain areas. When we reach out for help, that's a different story. But we must first of all find that sovereign beingness within us and step into it. Step into that truth. Remember that truth. It's always been there. It's never gone away. It's just we've been in a state of amnesia for a long time. Many of us have. And once we awaken and realize, oh goodness, what's been going on? Been sleeping a lot of my life. And then we start to see things very clear. We start to see through the realms. We start to walk between the realms. We start to walk between worlds. We start to interact and commune with all beings through all time, spaces and realities. We realize that we are all that and more. There is no ending or beginning to our soul. We are ever expanding consciousness, and we are bringing forth the golden crystalline Christed consciousness here on earth by the way that we keep opening up our hearts. And the more open hearts there are, the better it is for all of us, the better it is for all beings, all earthly inhabitants, and all inhabitants from all planetary systems throughout the multiverses, because everything is one, all connects as one love. And your participation is required. You can't skip past that. You can't be looking out there to the stars and waiting for some saviour to come down and make it all right for you and make it better for you. That's not going to happen. You can call upon assistance from all beings at any time. You can call upon your higher aspects to focus right now, here, and bring forth all of those energies into your beingness now. But that in itself is you taking the driving seat of your highest self, and calling forth all of your higher aspects right now, so that you can transform your experience, so that you can shine your light, so that you can spread love wherever you go. We are divine and beautiful beings of light. We are multidimensional beings of love and light. We are sovereign beings, and we are free. We just must remember all of this. And the more that remember, the more that open up their hearts to love, yes, then the transformations will occur really rapidly. And that is so exciting. And that's exciting for lots of reasons, because when there are more open hearts, more loving hearts, people realizing, and it only has to be a small percentage for the tipping point to occur, because love is a much higher frequency than fear. But the more and more we open our hearts to love, remember the truth of who we are, seeing through the eyes of love, feeling with love, then lower density frequencies cannot thrive, and they will crumble. And the crumbling's already started. The old structures are already crumbling. So much crumbling going on, so much, breaking down of old systems. It seems chaotic, but that's why we must hold our frequency and our vision high and not be swayed by all of this. It's like walking through rubble, keeping your eye on at the child waiting for us at the other side. I'm here. I'm here. Here I am. I'm here right now. Here I am. I am here right now. I participate. I participate in love. I am love. You see, when we are fully in our hearts, there can be no wars. It's impossible. When we are fully living as Christed beings, once again, then there can be no diseases. There can be no greed. There can be no suffering. There can be no polarity, destruction, unkindness. And we are moving collectively in that direction. And I invite each and every one of you to continue to co-create with love and joy and peacefulness and harmony, working through the aspects of you that may require your love, by being very aware and conscious to what is said around you so that you can keep anchoring in love into the grid by being love and by calling people out on things that maybe aren't resonant with love, if you feel it is of assistance to the greater good of all. So always be acting and being love. Act with love, be love. Love is all that is. Commune with your higher self. If you're not sure, higher self, guide me. Guide me in this moment. It doesn't take long. I do find closing my eyes really helps. Sometimes I don't need to. But when I am in a situation that might be a little bit heavier, then yes, closing my eyes does help. You are love, and we are the ones that we have been waiting for. And we have got this. We can do this. We are this. We are the light. We just need to pick up our crowns. Set all around. Pick up our golden crowns. Stop playing in polarity. Stop messing around with lower frequencies and keep stepping into higher, more loving frequencies and anchoring in more love into the grid for the greatest good of all beings through all multiverses. My name's ZsaZsa. Thank you very much for watching. I send you all love, joy, blessings. May your path be beautiful, happy, healthy, peaceful, and harmonious. If you like this video, share it, subscribe, comment if you feel called to do so. Thank you very much for watching.